Welcome to Take 5, a podcast brought to you by Newleaf Training and Development. Each edition is an inspiring interview with a leader worth listening to. Enjoy.
Hey, I'm Paul Butler. I'm one of the client partners at Newleaf Training and Development, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Duval Capozzi, who is the head of manufacturing at A2 Bio Therapeutics. Duval, as you know, for nearly 17 years at Newleaf, we focus on our core purpose of helping people and organizations better manage themselves, lead others, and grow business acumen. I just wondered, what are your recommended best practices to help people and organizations be their best? But please start, though, by telling us a little bit more about your organization, what you do specifically, and who you serve. So over to you, Duval, and I'll wrap it up when you're done.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Well, for the last 30 years, I started when I was a child. I've been working in manufacturing and quality environments for big biotherapeutics and small. And this is a small startup company that I started back in November of 2020, and there was only 5 people in tech ops, and now there's over 50. So I've had a really great chance to build my team and build the operations. So my role is just, overseeing the manufacturing role. So we started out as a research company, and now we're into more of the tech ops manufacturing role, going into clinical trials. And so pretty excited. And this is really for cancer patients with lung cancer, different ones, more for solid tumor cancer. So that's a little bit what we're doing, and we're hoping to see some great results over the next several years and stuff. So and we're really growing at a good pace, which I'm excited about. So to answer your question, what are some things that really build, business acumen, build the company? What I've seen that's benefited is, I'd say my first one I want to bring up is really keeping a strong culture. To me, building the organization and the people within it is so key, because if they're happy in their roles, they're going to give all they can to the company. It's going to be their company as well as my company, right? So, so I think it's important that we're transparent, open, honest, and keeping that culture of, even some examples of, we just had a new hire start today. We do this, we call it a red carpet thing, where when they come and we're like playing music and we have signs like welcome, we're all excited. So, I think this is something that just starts out the excitement, and we want you to be here. We are glad you are here, right? So I think that culture is the big one. It does get harder as you get bigger. The organization, now that we're, we started out, when I was here, like 40 people, now it's up to like 135. It's a little harder, right? But we're still trying to make sure the team drives it, not just from the management, but really from bottom up as well. So we're all involved. The other thing, the second thing I would say is, having a strong, especially specifically for cancer patients, right? We want to make sure we have strong science and making sure, but really it's about, making sure that we get this drug product to patients, right? And we'll do what we have to do to make that happen and so forth. But, I really encourage my staff, take the shot, make a mistake if you want to make a mistake. I mean, not that you're trying to make a mistake, but it's important that you don't, hold people back, that you give them the opportunity to say, we want you to give your input. And if you have a good suggestion, I'll suggest, great, go for it. So I think it's, I think that's continues to lean back to the culture as well, that we don't want everyone making a ton of mistakes, but we're also not, we're coaching our staff more than we're just a dictatorship or like a micromanaging. We really try to live by that here at A2 Bio and stuff. So that's my second thing. I think if you have happy employees and good science. The third thing I would say is, besides, having a strong leadership is key. And when I say that, I mean, what do I mean by strong? What I'm saying is, it's not so much just the knowledge and background, but really, someone who believes in the process, believes in the people, believes in the company. And so to me, having that leadership that not only continues to develop. I mean, Paul, you know this from Newleaf, right? I mean, that's your whole goal. I believe this is one of our goals too, is really to continue to develop our leaders to become not just good managers to teach people and tell people what to do, but leaders of really guiding, directing, coaching to, to grow in their own personal life at their work, as well as, of course, getting goals done, but it's not starting with goals, right? It's not starting to say, get your goals done and do this and this and this, right? It's more having the vision of what we should be able to get done and what we should be able to, do. And then that just drives the goals, right? It becomes, this is what we do. And I naturally want to get those things done because really deep down inside, the vision's there that we know what we're all here for. And this is, I always kid around myself. This is what we train for, right? This is what we do. And so as we continue to, when it comes down to doing it, now they're all ready. And I don't have to tell them that, hey, you have to work late today because of this. They go, hey, I'm going to make sure I get this done. And however long it takes, it gets done. So it's really them driving it based on us leading and guiding them to what the vision is. So I'd say those are the top three things. I think it's been pretty successful here at A2. I've been in several other companies and, I've seen, the large companies, much different environment. You only get to do this much. Small companies, you get to do a little bit of everything, wear a lot of different hats. But even in other small companies, it just depends. I've seen, even when I first came here, I was a little concerned because I had a previous experience in a small company where it was very much the other way. It wasn't those three things that we see. So I've learned from my mistakes, or I've learned from being in around what I don't want to be, right? In some other organizations. I really took that here and continue to build this type of, I'd say, a mindset, in our organization to make sure that we're successful. And unfortunately, we've seen some other companies similar to ours that had startup issues, and they're going through many layoffs and some concerns. And I'm not prideful in that. I'm thankful that we haven't gone through that personally, because there's some great people over in those other organizations. But I'm hoping that by living the leadership style that we're taking on, we're hopefully going to be strong and make it through and keep it going and stuff. So
that's brilliant. I really appreciate those 3 points. Just so clear and so practical. The thing about the culture, and then what I'm hearing you saying, that second point is really about unleashing talent. And then the third point about leadership. A little picture that came to mind to me was, I think about, say, gardening. That my father-in-law is passed now, but he was just a superb gardener. And when I think about the word culture, I think about, well, that's really the, what you're trying to create in the garden. And when you think about like unleashing talent, it made me think about his phrase was, he always used to say, well, the life is in the seed. And his job really as a gardener was to bring out, let the thing blossom. And sometimes you'd have to prune, move, more sun, more water, less water. And then, from a leadership perspective, is ultimately the gardener that's making all of that happen. So this little picture came to mind to me on that. Duval, thanks ever so much. Yeah, thanks ever so much, Duval, for your insights on it. It's so great to see you again. Then just a message out to the subscribers. Keep an eye on the events link of the webpage for the different opportunities we have, most of which are free with partners that we do work with. And then, Duval, could I offer you a virtual high five? It's so great to see you again, Duval.
Thanks for the opportunity, Paul. I appreciate it. Always looking forward to spending this time with you.
Thanks, Duval.
I hope you found that interview useful, and if you did, feel free to rate, review, and share this podcast. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we also invite you to check out our other weekly podcast, Going the Extra Mile, which is sure to lift your spirit and encourage you in today's working world. Bye for now.